All right, hello everyone, and welcome to this week's Texas Roadhouse press conference. This week we have Tuesday, Justin Kerrigan Show at Scratch Kitchen from 6 to 7 p.m. on Rock 95.1. This Thursday, women's soccer takes on Oklahoma Christian in Oklahoma City at 7 p.m. Volleyball's on the road Friday at West Texas A&M in Canyon at 6 p.m. Saturday, we have the men's and women's cross country competing in the Lone Star Conference Championships in Silver City, New Mexico at 9:30 in the morning. Volleyball's at Eastern New Mexico in Portales at 1 o'clock. Women's soccer is at Midwestern State in Wichita Falls beginning at 1 o'clock. Men's soccer is the only home event this week. They'll take on UT Tyler at 1 o'clock. And football is on the road at San Angelo, Texas beginning at 4. Today we will start off with head volleyball coach Tim Lesh, who beat Lubbock Christian 3-1 and had 2 match points against number 18 Angelo State.
Good afternoon. Our team had a good weekend. We played a lot of good volleyball and were able to pull out a win in a close match against LCU and came up just a little bit short against Angelo State, but still played very well. I'm really proud of our team for continuing to improve. I want to mention Megan Ashton was a standout player in both matches. We had a lot of players contribute, but she kind of had her best matches ever here. She was playing libero for us and had 28 digs on Thursday and 30 digs on Saturday against the top offense in the league. So I'm really proud of her for stepping up and helping us out defensively.
Can you talk about how going to 5 sets against a number 18 ranked team can do for your team, morale-wise?
Sure. When we played at their place, we didn't play very well. They played good, and they played good again when we played them here, but we've really elevated our game in the last month. I think it was vital for our players to see, oh yeah, our hard work's paying off, we're getting better, we can play with one of the top teams, maybe even beat them. And we had a couple breakdowns in the match. In set 2, we didn't follow our game plan, our offense kind of sputtered, but the team made some adjustments, figured stuff out. And to be able to do that against one of the top teams in the region, hopefully inspires them to keep improving and keep working hard so we can beat them when we see them in the tournament.
You guys did your first win against Lubbock Christian for like the first time since like 2010, back on September 28th, and you guys were able to do it again over the weekend. What did that do for you guys?
That was important. That was a vital match for playoff implications. So that put us ahead of them to get into the Lone Star tournament. So that was vital. And it was a back and forth match, but our team, stuck to the game plan, did what they needed to do, and we finally kind of broke through in set 4 and put the match away at that point. And was one of our goals, was to make the tournament, and that didn't ice it, but that gave us a big leg up on them for it.
Over the past couple of weeks, y'all starting to find y'all stride as a team, getting a lot of big wins, and like competing last week against number 18 ranked team. And so being so good right now, going to playoffs, how does that feel going to postseason?
It feels good. We got off to a strong start and had a couple setbacks, but learned from them. And we're kind of in that cycle again. We improved over the first time we played Angelo, and we just want to keep doing that. And we want to learn from this loss as well. Even though we played great, we've got to find a way to win those close matches against good teams. And hopefully we learn from this, like we learned a couple other lessons early in the season, so that when we get to the conference tournament or a crucial reaching game, we can come out on top. And it feels good, but we're not satisfied with just playing them close. That's not our team goals. We want to win those games, and hopefully it was a learning experience for us. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Next up, we have women's soccer head coach Lindsay Garcia, who went 1-0-1 and had a team beat St. Mary's 2-1 on Saturday. It was the first time the program defeated the Rattlers since 2011.
So we felt it was a good weekend for us. As a group, we keep talking about how we need to get better every single weekend, every single game. This was week 7 for us, and as a group, we keep talking about week 6 being our turning point. We played at Angelo, and although we lost the game 2-1, They were second in the conference at that point, and that just gave us a lot of confidence moving into this past weekend, which was week 7. And you know, it's very easy to stay focused and positive when you're getting the results you want. Even though you might be doing everything right in the, you know, in training and everything and lifestyle, but you don't get those results. So having a weekend like this past weekend where we got the tie, obviously we wanted to win that game, but getting the tie and then getting the win on Saturday was a big result for the team to be like, oh, okay, it's paying off for us now. So we're proud of that. I'm proud of the way they worked. I really want to highlight Marlise Bond in goal. She's been saving us back there as a goalkeeper should, keeping us in games. She got her first clean sheet with the back line on Thursday, and I think that momentum helped take us into Saturday and get the win that we wanted there.
What were your biggest takeaways from Saturday's win?
Well, to go down a goal and then have the resilience to equalize was big. And then to go ahead and get that game winner in the last 10 minutes of the game was huge for us. And like I said, when you get that result, it just helps your momentum moving forward and helps the team morale and the team belief.
And you talked about moving forward. What are some things you think y'all can improve on as a game?
For sure, we need to go for the clean sheet every time, of course. So we want to work on our defensive shape. We've put in a lot of work on set pieces defensively, and we haven't conceded on any set pieces in a number of games. As well as in the attack, we want to utilize those set pieces. And this past weekend on Saturday, the 2 goals actually came from set pieces, and one on a free kick and then one on a throw-in, a long throw-in into the box. So those are 2 things that we can definitely sharpen up and get much better at moving forward.
Okay.
So some other players to highlight really quick would be in the midfield with Kalia Beckwith. She's playing box to box, both ends of the ball, and just really being that engine of the team who dictates the pace of the game. And then our 3 seniors in Deanna Calhoun, who was a Division I transfer, she's playing up top. Kessie Stalker playing up top, and then Ariel Royball in the center midfield as well. I think they need to be recognized. They've done very well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
Next up, we have head men's soccer coach Dennis Peterson. His team defeated Lubbock Christian 3-2 in overtime, and then through with Dallas Baptist on Saturday at 2 apiece.
I guess I've been doing this all wrong the few times that I've done this. I didn't know you had to come up here and just explain how you're waiting for you guys to ask questions. So, yeah, we had a good week last week where we beat Dallas Baptist, especially under some controversy over weather situations where we had to play Thursday, 25 minutes into the game, a big storm came in. We were ahead at the time. Then we had to turn around and play them again on Friday, starting all over again, 0-0. We didn't get to finish, where we ended. But then we were able to put in 4 goals and then had to play less than 12 hours later against St. Ed, so we're kind of at a disadvantage there. And then this past week, obviously beating Lubbock Christian 2-1 in overtime, and then tying with Dallas Baptist 2-2 on Saturday was great. So we're starting to get healthy again, getting some players back, and that makes a big difference in how we play, that's for sure.
What do you think that overtime win says about your team?
Well, I mean, we went up on them first, so I'd like to see us hold the lead when we go up on somebody, but we let them come back and equalize, and then they scored really quick afterwards to go ahead. But then for us to keep fighting and get that equalizing goal, which we were able to get, and actually the kid that scored that goal was Stefan Fiera, who has been, that was his first game back. He hasn't played in over a year. So for him to get that goal, I was really happy for him and really happy he's back because he's a big part of our team. And he's just had really bad luck. He's given a lot of his body to this university, trust me.
Yeah, how do you feel like adding him back to the team as the season progresses so far? Can he gel with the team so far?
Wow, I mean, he's been kind of doing, he's been around the team, as kind of helping me coach. I mean, last year, our first preseason scrimmage, he broke his ankle, out for the year. Then he comes back in the spring, first spring game we played, blows his knee out, so now he's out until right now. So, I mean, just for him to come back from those two injuries and be able to play at a really high level has been huge. And all the players love him to death, and he is a team leader, that's for sure. So it was really fun to see him get that goal, especially an important goal like that, and be a major contributor to the team's success right now. We're going to use him a lot, I can guarantee that.
Who are a couple players, I don't know if that maybe surprised you, but maybe have led the team, kind of taking control over the leadership part of this team?
I would say probably in our midfield, Greg Eckel has probably been that one. He's one of two players that has started every game for us this year. We have had a rash of injuries. We've only had 2 kids that have started every game, and that's unheard of. Usually you have 6 or 7. We've had 2, and Greg's one of them, and he's like the Energizer Bunny. He just keeps going. Nothing seems to faze him. And then in our defense, probably Andrew Perez, who's the other one that has started every game. He's done a really good job for us because we've moved him from a center back to a holding mid, back and forth, just wherever we think he's going to do the best, depending on who we're playing. So those two have definitely been major success for us, playing especially on our defensive end.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach. Thank you.
And then last we have head football coach Justin Kerrigan, whose Falcons return to Lone Star Conference play this weekend against Angelo State.
We're the opposite of Dennis. We're not getting anybody back healthy. We're dropping like flies. Next man up.
Is that kind of the mentality that you guys have right now, next man up?
It's got to be. We're potentially going to have to burn a couple red shirts this weekend. We're going to do everything we can to prevent that. We've met as a staff as to who some emergency substitutions would be. And some of it would be a guy flipping the size of the ball, playing a position they'd never played. You hate to burn a red shirt, 4 games left in the season. As much as the NCAA preaches about player, student-athlete welfare, in Division I having a 4-game redshirt rule, it's wide open. Completely different in Division II. So we tried to get some clarification from our lovely compliance officer earlier, who informed us that we're at a point in the year where if we do play a freshman and he gets hurt, you lost a year no matter what. So you just hate to put somebody out there, but it's about the point where we're at.
What
Who
were
else
some of the,
besides Nelson that's hurt that,
Yeah.
that you're talking about?
I'm not gonna go over all of it. I went back and I looked at just our participation report from the Northern Michigan game. There's 15 players currently not participating. We're allowed to travel 60. I think this is probably the first time since year 1 where we won't have 60 healthy to travel down to Angelo State. And, without taking some guys that we've been redshirting. It's been one of those years.
So who you're looking at flipping from like one side to the other?
I'm not gonna get into that. I don't want to put too much out there as to where we have limited numbers.
You talk about second, third quarter up in Nebraska. I mean, you guys did some good things and seemed just to get away from you a little bit there at the end.
Yeah, it was unfortunate that we had a good beat on what they were doing defensively, how to attack it. Guys executed really well, and then there towards the end, particularly the fourth quarter, we just never seemed to click. Things were happening. As far as for Cameron in the backfield as a quarterback, they were getting on him pretty quick, and it was unfortunate to be able to come back, rally back like we did, that we weren't able to sustain that.
You talked about Cameron. What went into the decision of starting him last week?
For me, it was a little bit. For one, we suspended Caleb Leet just for the beginning of the game. He wasn't going to start, violation of team rules. Other than that, the intentions were to get him in, get him active, get him involved. We did that in the third series, the third and fourth series, and we weren't clicking offensively. I felt like Cameron had a good understanding of the game plan. He He saw things well early on. We just weren't clicking offensively. Went back with him, obviously we were able to go down, get a late touchdown, and I thought Cameron operated incredibly well. It was 20 of 30 passing for 66% completion percentage, 2 touchdowns. The 1 interception, was a perfectly thrown ball. Just guy dropped it, tipped it, bounced off one defender, and ended up in the hands of another one. And should have just been an easy first down. But it's kind of how the game goes. I thought Cameron did a tremendous job.
What are a couple things that I know it's a tough question to ask, but what are a couple things that you think need to be improved on to get back on the winning side of the ball?
Well, we got to take care of the football. 3 weeks in a row I've stood up here and talked about that. Offensively, we had the 1 interception, that was it. But then in special teams, we put the ball on the ground twice. Once on a punt return and once on a kickoff return. Then gave up a punt return for a touchdown. And those are just things you can't have happen and expect to win a ball game. You got to take better care of the football. And I think that's the most important thing. And then it goes back to the young guys being ready to go, the depth, what's left of them, and that shows up more in special teams, as guys get injured. The offense and the defense can hold together some. Special teams is where you kind of really start to see some of it, kind of show up for you.
What about the team morale right now, especially after a long trip coming back from Nebraska? What's the morale, and what does Angelo pose a problem last week?
The morale's pretty good. We get on the practice field tomorrow. I think energy levels were good yesterday at practice as far as our conditioning goes. Angelo, somewhat similar defensively to what we just went up against. I think I said last week, kind of like a Chinese fire drill on defense. They're going to have a million different blitzes and guys coming from every which direction. So some similarities there, 3-man front, which again was similar to Shadron. They're going to play it a little bit different. Offensively, they've shown the ability to be explosive, control the football, but they've leaned a lot on their defense and their wins this year. They're a strong defense.
Talk about Darian's performance. We got the pick for you, obviously, stepping into a huge, role for you replacing Keegan.
Yeah, I thought he did a great job. And just, again, as an offensive guy and the head coach, I'm not as dialed into what's going on always on defense. A lot of times when offense is off the field, we're in communication of what adjustments we need to make and make sure we're communicating those things on the sideline with the offensive players. And talking with Coach Martin after the game, the one thing I said is from what I saw and what I noticed, I thought Darian played tremendously well in his first opportunity to start. We'd have significant playing time and meaningful moments in the game. Obviously coming up with an interception, he did a lot of stuff really well. I think that's what's got to happen. That's what you hope for. That's what you want. He's a guy that played a little bit last year as a true freshman. So now he's a true sophomore. He's had a little bit of experience. He was ready for that opportunity. It's not the same as Keegan, but you're also talking about a guy that is 2 years away from being where Keegan's at right now as a fourth year, obviously a senior. Keegan's seen a lot and had a lot of reps. But Darren played exceptionally well, and I don't think there's any reason to think 2 years from now he can't be as productive as Keegan is. Thank you all.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.